Hello everyone, it's Swindon 1, Man City 4, and it's a great result. It's the FA Cup third round. That means that it's the second half of the season on the way, and to start off with a win is a really good result. Okay, we were more playing Swindon, but I think Swindon played really well. I'll get to that a little bit later on. First thing to say is that we played a stronger lineup than I was expecting. I mean, you hear before the game a few days ago that 7 City players are out with COVID and 14 backroom staff, including Pep. You're a little bit concerned. But I wasn't really concerned. I just think we played more of the youth team than what we did. And then when you see the lineup, you know, we got Stefan in goal, we got Ake and Diaz in the centre of defence, and we got Walker back at the right hand side, and we got Cancelo on the left. You're playing Rodri defensive midfield. You got Gundogan and De Bruyne, really strong midfield with Palmer on the right, Jesus on the left, and Bernardo in the middle. So yeah, really good, strong lineup. And I think early game, early part of the game, Swindon had a couple of good chances. We had a couple of good chances. I think Bernardo should have scored early on, but didn't take his chance. And then Swindon had a couple, counter attacks, which looked quite dangerous. But I think Ake, and I've got to mention Ake, I think Ake played really well today. He was left a couple of times on his own against McGurdy and Simpson, but whoever it was, he defended it quite well. He stood up strong. There's plenty of long balls going towards him, like they targeted him. All these target that left hand side with Cancelo pushing so far up the pitch. But Ake defended it quite well, and he put, a couple of good challenges in, and he hasn't got the pace to keep up with McGurdy, but he slowed him down a couple of times, and I think he did well. I thought Diaz was it's weird, Diaz, he was kind of non-existent, wasn't he? He wasn't really there, but he was there, and I think that's kind of what you need from your centre-half sometimes, just know that he's going to be there if you need him, but we didn't really need him every now, so give him a break. It was good to have Walker back on the right-hand side. I think he had a few poor touches, a few poor passes, but his pace gets him out of so much trouble. Like, it's a good recovery system for him, and I think in the second half we saw that a couple of times. He got a silly yellow card, which wasn't needed. I don't particularly think it was a foul, or if it was definitely not yellow, but referee gave it anyway. Cancelo on the left, I think he had a mixed game. I think for the Swindon goal, he was a bit out of position. He was like 40 yards over the pitch. I know we had it, and it was a poor touch from Rodri, but I think Ake was just isolated then. You had 2 defenders running him, and McGurdy got one-on-one with Stefan, and he hits it near post. And I think Stefan should have saved it. I mean, if he sticks his left foot out, he definitely saves it. But instead, he decided to drop down and use his hands. I don't know why. But he should be beating his near post. But well done, Swindon. They got the goal, and they celebrate like they won the league with that. And fair enough, I think I would as well if I'm in League 2. So no complaints there. I think Swindon were good for their goal. Like I said, in the first half, I think they put up a good fight. I think when we got the second, it kind of deflated them a little bit. It deflated the crowd. And it really did go quiet there, or it seemed to go quiet. And that just kind of took all the energy out. But I think Swindon can hold their heads up because they played really good. They tried playing it out the back. Yeah, they had a few long balls, but pretty much they were defending quite deep and then hitting us on the counter with some quick passing. And most of the time it worked. I will say their keeper had a bit of a shock in the first half. He made amends in the second, but in the first, especially with City's second goal, whenever their keeper got the ball, Bernardo was hunting him down, man. He was running at him. And you expect that from Bernardo, and they should have expected that from Bernardo. But every time they played short, the keeper was panicking. He'd scuff his clearance, or he'd kick it out for a throw, which is what he should have done most of the time anyway. But for the second goal, he just whacks it out, hits De Bruyne, goes to Jesus, he gives it back to De Bruyne, he gives it first time to Jesus, and it's a goal. It's 2-0. And for the first goal, I think Palmer was fantastic. Palmer has this wonderful little thing where he drops the shoulder, and then he hits acceleration, and he gets like 2-3 yards clear of the defender. He did that well, and he whips it right across the 6-yard box. And I've said so many times, if we had a striker in the 6-yard box, we'd score more goals. And that's what Bernardo did for that first one. He was in the 6-yard box. He taps it in from like 3 yards out. Great play from Palmer, who again had a fantastic game. I think he attacked the defenders. It's someone like Sterling and Mahrez do when they're on the game. When they're playing really well and really exciting, they just get the ball and they just think of running that fullback. And that's what Palmer did today. If he lost it, who cares? But he had a couple of good moments. He passed it really well for De Bruyne. And I thought he could put a few good balls in the box. He was cutting back on his left, whipping it far post. He did a couple of good crosses. And his goal, at first, I could say that he kept on the ball a bit too long. He gets the ball on the right-hand side. He could have whipped it in first time if it's right for McAtee. But instead, he takes an extra touch. He cuts back on his left. He whips it in, hits the bar, hits the post, goes in. Great goal. So good for him to score as well, because I think that's his first FA Cup goal. And I think he had a solid game. He had a really good 90 minutes. All the players, we had De Bruyne, Gundogan in midfield. I think Gundogan's fantastic. I really do. And he took that goal really well. Free kick, 25 yards out, whips it around the wall near post. Keeper probably should have saved it. Ward probably should have got it. Should have probably been positioned better. A cheap goal to give away, but it's still a good finish, you know. Well done there. Like I said, it was a surprising lineup for me. It was really strong. I mean, as for Swindon, I think they'll do well for the promotion push. I think they'll go really well. And I can see them getting promoted if they play like that. I really can. As for us, we play Chelsea next week. And it's good to have these players back, you know. Like I said, I was a bit concerned about the lineup. But if we don't get anyone back from COVID, like Foden or anyone, and we go in with this 11 against Chelsea, we've got a pretty good chance. Hopefully Pep is that back. And hopefully a few other players as well. But if not, if we go in with this 11 against Chelsea, yeah, I can see Chelsea maybe getting the upper hand on us because they're quite, you know, they're a little bit more physical than we are. But if we play anything like we did against them when we did at Stamford Bridge, then we should come out on top because this team is capable of passing the ball around and keeping hold of it, you know, and making and stretching the defense. And that's what we're going to have to do against Chelsea, who are probably going to play with like 8 defenders. So yeah, I can see this team doing a good job against Chelsea, but nothing to complain about today. I think all in all, 4-1 result. I think Swindon can go away happy. We go away happy. And yeah, I think all in all, it's an entertaining game. I don't know if you all watched it, but if you did, you know, I think it was good for the neutrals, and I think it was good for both sets of supporters as well. Everyone had something to cheer about. And I think their keeper made amends in the second half. He saved a really poor Jesus penalty. Jesus wins the penalty. So for me, he takes it. Why not? He won it. But for some reason, I don't know why, when you take that little stutter step, when you pause before hitting the ball, you're waiting for the keeper to make a move. You're making the keeper make the first decision. The keeper makes that decision. He goes to his right, and Jesus watches him go to his right, and then he puts the ball to the right. So I don't understand why he did that, but you know, I think pretty poor penalty. When he watched the keeper go that direction, he still kicks it there. Either way, we won anyway. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and moan. Good win, and then we got another game in a week. So bit of a rest, and I'll be back then with the match preview. So thanks for watching, thanks for checking it out, and anyone who joined me on the stream, thank you very much. It was really good fun. I enjoyed it. Thanks for saying hi, and have a great weekend. See you next week. Bye bye.